All right, we're live.
What?
Jay, you got me. We're having a few technical difficulties there in the background, but I think we're good now, right?
That's all good now.
That's right. So we got some exciting news. We got a top producer making the move to EXP here. So we decided to bring Jay in from his new home in Puerto Rico, right?
Yes, that's right. That is right. It is definitely a bit of a shock change to me living here, but it's been good so far. But I'm excited about what's happening there.
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah. How long have you been there now? 2 weeks?
I'm losing you. I don't know if everyone else is.
You
For
good?
some reason, you're cutting out. I can't quite keep up with the conversation there.
How about now? You got
I'm
me?
curious if that's what everyone else is experiencing, or if it's just me,
I hear you loud and clear.
since I'm the one on the island.
Let's just Let me just check one sec. Can you hear me or no?
Man, I didn't. I heard that last question that you just asked just then, but that.
All right, give me one sec.
All right. I'm curious if it's not me since I'm on an island, but I did one of these earlier and it was fine. And then my little speed test said I was good to go, so I'm hoping it's not me.
Well, that's part of going live. Sometimes it doesn't go as smoothly as possible, right?
Yeah.
You got me. All right, so I'll just take it over, and then that way, just in case you can't hear Jay, he's having some technical difficulties. So exciting news! Big agent, top producing agent in Upper St. Clair, $22 million producer last year, over 60 units sold. We'd like to introduce Julie Welter.
Hey
How are
guys,
you?
how are you?
Doing fantastic, doing fantastic. So we're still having some technical difficulties here with Jay, but that's all right. We'll keep it going, and then Jay, just let us know if you start.
I got that island internet apparently.
The island that's kicking in. That's no problem. So congrats on the move. So this is
Thanks.
brand new, right? So the new move,
just made the paperwork official. What, 20 minutes ago? So,
it just hit, right? Just hit
That's right.
on the state website. So what we want to do here today a little bit is just kind of walk you through the process of what kind of made you make this decision and make the move over here to EXP with us, and just kind of see what the decision making process looked like, because I think a lot of people go through this where they're looking at different brokerages, they want to make a move, maybe they're happy where they're at, but they need to ultimately make a decision kind of what the future is going to look like, and is that the right move or the right spot for you. So I guess take us through a little bit of the decision making process for you.
Okay. Well, so obviously, I went from 2019, I did like 13 million to 23 million in 2020. So obviously I was being recruited, right, by everyone.
Sure.
I sat down with literally every brokerage in Pittsburgh and just talked to everyone. And, I know you, I know DJ, I know Jen, love all of you. And when I sat down and I talked to you guys, it was like no brainer. There was literally nothing in Pittsburgh, or the world, frankly, that compares to the benefits to agents to go affiliate with EXP. There's nothing.
Absolutely. Jay, do you got us now?
Yeah, I'm still cutting in and out, so I apologize.
Okay.
But yeah, no, remember the conversation we had too, and it's you really do have to look closely at it, but doing the math, and this is like for everybody in Pittsburgh, you should be doing the math, and I feel like that's you get to a certain level of production, you have to, but what you get with EXP is just so much more than what you get with any other brokerage.
When I sat down with Matt and DJ and they did the spreadsheet for me, and they did, the comparison with all of my fees and my split when I was with Coldwell Banker. And I have to say, I have nothing negative to say. I love my manager, love my office, love my, agents I worked with, this had nothing to do with me being unhappy. It literally is, who do I want to have the money? My kids or my company? And I don't love anyone more than I love my children, and I never will. So,
That's
if
great.
I can provide a better life for them and save money for college and grad school, hopefully, that's what I'm going to do. And I was at the top, commission split at Coldwell Banker. You could not go any higher than what I was earning. And it was, what, $130,000 difference in my take home pay would have been in 2020. And that is just like, when I heard that number, I wanted to vomit everywhere. Because, I mean, that's more than what my first house cost.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think when you actually, and like Jay always says, like, you've got to do the math, right? And once you do the math, like this company is set up for top producing agents at the end of the day. Like if you are a top producer and you're putting business on the table, and you're a capping agent and you hit icon and you're an icon agent, you essentially get your cap back in company stock. And when you start throwing stock into the mix and you start throwing revenue share into the mix on top of what, just the fact that the split is so competitive once you hit a certain point, it's like, I don't know
honestly, this is a company that should be for everyone, because what other company can you go affiliate with as a new agent and start off at 80%? Zero.
Yep.
It makes sense for everyone, and it especially makes sense for top agents, because the more business you do, the more money you're going to make. I mean, with what I have coming on, I'm going to cap in February. And
right.
that's dumb.
No, well, exactly, right? Like, so let's take it through a little bit of the decision-making process. So you start at 80% split. You cap, once you pay the company 16 grand, you cap, you'll be at 100. Right. So for somebody like you who's doing, I mean, really, I think, what is it, 3 grand or 3 million caps, month and a half, you'll cap.
Yeah. I mean, it's what, between 2.5 and 3 million. I charge a little bit more.
Yeah. Depending on fees and, commissions and stuff like that. But roughly, so like you'll cap in February, you'll be at 100% commission for the remainder of the year. Then you'll hit icon status, given that you hit the production that you will. Of course you will. Then you'll get the 16 grand back in company stock. And in addition to that, you have the ability to continue to grow a passive income stream that you just don't have anywhere else. Like, right?
Well, and I think it's awesome because, I was telling people, I'm like, look, everybody's the same at EXP. You have the same, tools, technology, your commission split. There is none of this like, oh, well, this agent's getting fed this agent's getting this level of commission. There's none of that. It's do your work. You start off at 80, you do what, 2.5, 3 million, you cap. Then there's a $250 transaction fee. Once you have an additional 20 transaction after capping, you hit icon, you get 16,000 in company stock. The transaction fee goes down to what, $75?
Yep.
Another big, huge benefit to me, because I am divorced, is EXP offers agents amazing health insurance. I mean, we're talking like $1,000 deductible. I can go to any doctor in Pittsburgh. And once I hit my deductible, everything's covered at 100%, and it's cheap.
It's huge. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's huge. And I think maybe, what would you say, like, if you start to really think about, like what, obviously you looked at different brokerages, right?
Yes.
So you've seen the different options. And I know that, like, some people, they still make the decision to go somewhere else. I don't see how after, obviously I've been here a while now. I get it. I see it. I see the numbers. I know what's going on behind the scenes. Like, so what would you say to somebody who's like, maybe they're taking that fast cash,
I mean,
for a contract where you're stuck for a long time,
I'm breaking a contract. I'm going to have to write a really hefty check to Coldwell Banker. And I mean, it's almost what I made when my first job is the check I'm going to be writing. But it's worth it to go to EXP because I will still be up 6 figures.
Right.
And I mean, I think about you and DJ, when you guys joined, what was the stock worth? $6 a share?
$6. Yep.
And it's $60 a share now?
Yep.
That is, I mean, that's real money. I don't care what anybody says, like, oh, it's a pyramid scheme, like rev share, whatever. Just the stock alone, that is real money. There is not a single brokerage anywhere else that is going to give you publicly traded stock that is, I mean, this company is just huge growth. You know, we all know Pittsburgh is behind the times and everything, right?
That's right. We're 10 years behind everything. That's what I always say.
About
10 years behind everybody else with everything.
Let's be kinder to Pittsburgh. We love it here. But the fact is I know that it's a risk, I think, in a lot of people's minds because it's not a traditional brokerage. But here's the facts. Because you and DJ leveraged the amount of money you made off selling your stocks and you've rented an office, I have an office that literally is 6 minutes from my house. I have amazing access to tech, to training, 24 hours. Like, if I need an answer from the broker, I get it within less than 5 minutes.
Yep.
And I have you guys. Like, do you remember the first time, like, after I did the spreadsheet and I was, like, all overwhelmed? And we were like, all right, let's just talk about, like, how we run our business. And I think both of us were just like, okay, here's my playbook. Here's what I do on listing appointments. Here's what we do for our buyers.
Yep.
And that level of transparency and collaboration, you do not get that anywhere else.
And honestly, you're going to see even more of it. You know,
it's
like
huge.
You simply cannot. Like for me, that's one of those like intangibles that maybe you don't see that on paper and you don't realize it. Then when you're here, it's like that's the game changer.
I know.
I have access to this. I got access to this guy. I can text him. You know, like when you really get into that, like that's one of those things for people who really love real estate and they love the business side of it and they love figuring out how to grow and they love being able to tap into certain people. Like that side of it is amazing. In addition to obviously the benefits that you get, right?
But I have to say, just like the culture that you guys have built within your team and this office is just, it's huge because everyone is rooting for everyone else to succeed because the facts are the big brokerages, you know, like when I turned all of them down individually and I let them know I was going to EXP, their response was, God, no, go to a different traditional brokerage because nobody wants agents to figure out, like, you don't need to have an office with staff there in order to be successful.
Well, I think that's what it comes down to, right? It's like EXP, you know, you say, oh, it's a pyramid scheme. Oh, it's a MLM, you know,
right.
Whatever you want to call it, every business is at the end of the day. So rather than we have, you know, there's a bunch of brick and mortar offices and then you've got managers and then you've got sales managers and then you got sales director and then you got regional manager and then you go up the line, like there's your pyramid.
Yeah.
Right there.
Well, and the fact is, you know, I was making money off of agents that I recruited to go to Coldwell. So I don't know if that's like an open secret or not, but you get 2% of the company dollar for every agent you recruit. So I was still making money recruiting agents. Yeah. I'm just not making the same level of money.
Right. And you kind of lose a little bit of the, like you said here, like when it comes to open playbook, collaboration, you know, there's an alignment there with the model here.
Right.
Jay's going to drop off. He can't get in.
Okay.
There's just a level of like collaboration where you don't have that at other brokerages because there isn't really that alignment in seeing that person grow. And that's where the levels do come in, you know, like at what other point do you go to a brokerage and you go and there's another top producer there where they just tell you everything that they're doing.
Right.
And you tell them everything you do, and then you just figure out how to collaborate and how, there's things that we do better than you. There's things that you do better than us where we can kind of share in that. We both grow our business. I mean, there's so much business to go around. It's like, it's
Oh
an
my gosh.
abundance mindset versus a scarcity mindset. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yep.
So I guess if you were to tell, I guess if you were to talk to somebody and they were looking at different brokerages, right? And they say, hey, well, I need the brand,
Okay,
right? The
so
brand. I need
I
the,
get it because it
yeah,
is scary, right?
right.
Because you're like, oh my gosh, how's this going to affect my business? This is Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Nobody gets cloud-based anything, right?
Right.
So here's what I can tell you. I have 3.4 million in listings that are going to be hitting January and February. Obviously, I let all of my clients know that I was going to be changing brokerages.
Sure.
Do you want to know how many asked me where I was going?
How many?
0.
0.
None. They just said, oh, why are you making the move? And I just said, look, they're offering me health insurance and a better business model so I can better service my clients.
Right.
Right. And they were just like, great, congratulations. We're happy for you.
Yep.
So here's, and like everyone, like the other brokerages were like, oh, there's not going to be the market share. And of course, like me being the obnoxious person that I am,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, really? I am the market share. Like if you're buying an Upper St. Clair, I doubled the number 2 agents, literally like crushed. So I am the market share. You are your market share. Like
exactly.
People do not hire a company because it's, those are just colors basically, right?
Right. Exactly.
They hire the agent. And
Totally.
frankly, anyone who is hiring a company is probably not somebody I want to work with, right? Like I tell people when I meet with them the first time, this is like a 2-way interview here.
Right.
I'm busy. I have 3 kids. If I'm taking time away from them, I want to make sure I like you, I respect you, you like me, you respect me, and this is going to be a mutually beneficial relationship.
Absolutely.
And I don't see this hurting my business whatsoever because frankly,
It won't.
I've never had this many listings ready to go in January and February before.
Yep.
So,
well, and this is the market that listings are key, right? And at the end of the day, like for somebody who's I've been at a big brokerage, I've been at small brokerage, I've been at small independent, we've been at franchise. It's like it's never really mattered. It's about the agent and about the person. Like just because there's a sign in the yard doesn't mean you're going to get a certain level of service, because you got people that are just starting in the industry to people that have been in the industry 40 years at that brokerage. You're not going to get the same level of service with every agent. So it's like at the end of the day, the agent's the one that the client deals with, and that's the person that they're calling to do the transaction. So it's not like it's the old way of thinking that you need the sign in order to do it.
No,
right?
And actually, speaking of signs, I think that is a massive, massive benefit to agents because EXP allows you to create your own signs. You can adjust the logo colors. You can add in, your agent logo. Really, it's really about marketing the agent on every level as opposed to marketing the company, right?
Well, that's the difference is the brokerage, because there's an ownership interest in it, right? The EXP is there to support the agent as opposed to the agent's there to support the brand and you're under the brand. It's a totally different way of thinking when you get here. Like it's not, it has nothing. It's like
my phone number on the actual sign is huge because I will tell you a little secret. You don't get sign calls when you work for the brokerage I worked for last because they offer just time to new agents. So even if somebody calls and said, I want to talk to the list agent, they won't transfer it over. So you don't get those leads. So that's another huge selling point, I think.
Absolutely. You're the brand.
Yeah.
You get to do your own branding. right?
Right.
Like you get to pick your own sign. You get to pick, you could pick whatever colors you want. Like they don't like, yeah, they have like there's some, there's some
Of
marketing
course, we're
standards that
gonna,
you've got to follow, but like it's like you're the brand represented any way that you like, and ultimately we'll support you with everything that you're doing,
right.
And so I guess to summarize, what I guess do you have any? I guess you have any final thoughts? You have anything like maybe that you're thinking that you wanted to like, kind of touch on for anybody that's maybe thinking about making a move?
So for anyone who's even considering it, I would say call me, call you, call DJ, call Jen, call any of these agents who just took the time to do their research, because I think a lot of people are just like, ugh, EXP, like who works there, right?
Yep. And admittedly, like that's something that maybe that's something that I probably did at first, like
100%.
didn't know it, no,
Right.
and you just totally shut off to it.
Yeah. And
So
I
then
think
when you
about
all,
the fact that 1 year you are going to be what? $6 versus 60. It makes me sick how much more money you're going to make at the end of the day than I did, solely because I wasn't ready to make a move.
I know.
You
And
know?
you think about the same thing. Like if we would have went, like say we would have won a year earlier, the stock was at $1,
Oh,
right? And when we came, it was like, well, the stock's the stock.
right.
It is what it is. We're going to sell real estate. We have the opportunity to, and it was a better move for our team and the people on our team, right?
And here's the thing, like that's still all true. Like I'm not
Right.
banking my retirement or my future or my kids' future on
Right.
the stock, on the rev share. I'm doing it because of this commission split. It is stupid.
Right.
And everything else is just like
Icing on the cake.
I mean, you're like, holy shit, this is unbelievable.
I know. I'll never forget. We had been here, so we had some stuff to close out, and then I went into the stock account. Like I think it was like a couple of months in. I just had never looked at it because it was like whatever. They're probably they said they give us some stock. I didn't even that part of it. I was like, whatever it is, it's just an extra benefit.
Yeah.
I went in there and looked, and then stock had just went up. I'm like, oh my Lord. Like this is real money. This stuff is adding up quick. And it's like now after being here a year, the stock price is really blown up. It's like that's real. It's a real ownership stake in a publicly traded company that's on the upswing. I mean, it's a $5 billion company now.
And I mean, it just keeps growing, going into more countries. Like Glenn said, they're adding 4 new countries.
Yep.
This quarter. So it's exciting.
So I mean, EXP right now is I think the end of the year at 40,000 agents, and the goal, and it probably will hit. They'll be at 100,000 agents is what they project or they expect to be at the end of the year. So this train is not slowing down. It's only rolling forward from here on in. So, anything else you want to share?
I'm just super excited.
I know I'm pumped up too.
Yeah, I'm stoked, and I cannot wait because I have a bunch of listings hitting, and agent friends, call me if you have questions. Great. I mean, there's literally everything negative that someone told me about EXP was wrong and just is not even a thing.
It's not. Yeah, you really just got to dive in and have an open mind and view it. And then, like Jay always says, once you see it, you can't unsee it. Because once you realize, like, oh wait, there's this opportunity too. There's this too. It's like everything is working in your favor. You're like, man, I really gotta look into this deeper.
Yeah, and I mean, like I had one broker who was like, well, do you really want to pay taxes on that much more money? How about we just give you money for marketing credits instead? And I'm like, is that a joke? Like,
right?
You're offering me, like an eighth of the amount in a marketing credit, so I don't have to pay taxes on over $100,000.
Right.
Like, No. Like I don't want the company to get the money. I want my kids to get the money.
Exactly. It's short-term thinking versus long-term thinking. And I think when you really run the numbers and you look at it, the projections and you look at the additional items that come into it, I mean, you look at savings in healthcare, you look at the stock options, and even look at the, the potential opportunities when you get into the revenue share. It's like, why would you do it anywhere else, right?
And I really have to give it up to like you and to DJ, because you guys are awesome. You're so welcoming. You are just all around good people. And like, I like immediately was like, I'm in. Don't even think about it. Just need to wait for the shit to close out. Thank you.
Awesome.
And I was like, you guys know that. I was just like, all right, I'm good. We're doing this. And
That's
I'm
great.
so excited because I will be starting a team this year, and I know, you guys have offered.
We can help with that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm so stoked.
We are too. We are happy that you are here. We'll get the next time we'll have a little comma. We'll have EXP Realty next to the name, and we'll go back live, and we'll definitely check in and kind of give a 3-month, 6-month update as we go along. You can give them a little progress.
I can be like, here's how I'm crushing this quarter, crushing that quarter. Why are you still giving away all of your fucking money to a brokerage that does not care about you?
All right. I think that's a fun way to end it right there.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you. Congrats. And
thank you guys.
Welcome to EXP.
Thanks. I'm excited. All right.